Please try to keep it as short as possible.
I'm sorry. Presidente, buenas tardes. Speaking English. A challenge for developing countries and developed countries is to fight inequality in the society. I'm not Chilean, but I understand that there is a large inequality in the distribution of wealth. I was thinking, you talk about your dream for your country. What would be your, how would you like to attain that less inequality in your country?
You are absolutely right. One of the biggest wounds of our society, and at the same time, one of the biggest challenges of our generation is to overcome poverty, but not only that, to get a better income distribution, a country with more equality of opportunities. How are we trying to do that? We are working with two kinds of tools, just like the two blades of a scissor can cut a piece of paper. The first one is trying to attack the real causes of poverty and income inequality, which are many, but I think that there are three of them which are the most important ones. One is the lack of job opportunities for the poorest people in my country, in Latin America. That's why for us, creating jobs is a key aspect. And the fact that we were able to create 500,000 jobs in 1 year, which is equivalent to 15 million jobs in the US, is a clear proof that we really are working on that. The second instrument is to improve the quality of education and human capital. In the last few weeks and few months, many Chilean students have marched on the streets of all of our cities, demanding a better quality of our educational system. And that's our own priority, and we're fully committed with that goal. That's why we are undertaking the biggest educational reform probably in our history. And we are committing not only our will, not only our priority, but also a huge amount of resources, economic resources, human resources, to undertake that challenge that should have been undertaken long ago. The third aspect is to improve the quality and the strength of our families. Because if you have strong families, you have a very good, probably the best possible instrument to fight delinquency, drugs, and many other things. We are working on those three areas very strongly, but we are fully aware that they will take time. And poor people cannot wait more. That's why we're using the other blade of the scissor, which is basically to try to mitigate the consequence of poverty. How are we doing that? We have set a program which we have called the Family Ethical Income. How it works? In Chile we have 15% of our population living in poverty. That's roughly 2.5 million Chileans. It's half the poverty rate of Latin America, but still is too high for us. And to defeat poverty is one of our main tasks. So we have set this program which is called the Family Ethical Income. How it works? We analyze what is the income of each of the family living below the poverty line. And we make a deal with them, strategic alliance. We say, look, we are willing to complement your income so you can reach the poverty line as long as you are really willing to commit your own effort in that task. And therefore, we don't want, it's not only a transference. We say, look, if you commit yourself that your children will go to school, will have high attendance to school, will improve their grades, if you commit yourself that the health controls will be updated, if you commit yourself that everybody in working age will be looking for a job or training or working, then we will increase the transfers and the subsidies. So it's not only to stay there and receive money from the state, it's a real strategic alliance between the state and the poor families to do together what we have to do together in order to really defeat poverty. We are working on those lines, and we have set very ambitious goals. We want to defeat extreme poverty within our government. That means before March of 2014, and to defeat poverty before the end of this decade. So I'm fully aware that that's a moral task. Otherwise, we won't be able to achieve the other goals, because we need every Chilean to be committed with this goal, and at the same time, every Chilean have the full assurance that they will benefit from this effort.
We have time. One more.
Hola, presidente. Soy chileno estudiante acá y le pregunto en inglés mejor. Currently, you have a 26% approval rating in Chile. That's the lowest of any current South American president and the lowest of any Chilean president ever, including their dictator Pinochet. Do you think this record low approval rating has anything to do with the fact that your government spends the most on military in South America and the least on education, proportionally speaking?
Well, your figures are not updated. To check the newspaper and get informed with the new polls. But the basic point that you are raising is the right one. The president has to decide whether he will work for the cause or for the country and the people. And sometimes you have to take tactical decisions. When you were hit by one of the 5th largest and most devastating earthquakes in the history of mankind, you have a huge challenge, which was not part of our government program, because we never anticipated that earthquake. But we have to face it. But the second thing is that really what we have achieved as a country, and I don't want to repeat what I have already said in terms of growth, investment, equality, opportunities, is something really remarkable. And therefore, we are doing what has to be done. It would be extremely easy for us to please everybody. You know that Chile has a negative public debt. We are creditors of the world, not debtors of the world. We have $20 billion in savings. It would be extremely easy for us to say yes to everybody. But it would be the wrong decision, because that would mean bread for today and hunger for tomorrow. So I am fully aware that it's better to be popular than not to be popular. But I'm even more aware that it's better to be a good president than a bad president.
Vamos.